Xcel Energy Center in St. Paul tonight. The Canadiens and the Wild about set for hockey. Special opening ceremony here at the Xcel Energy Center tonight, honoring the 2014 class inducted into the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame, including Jeff Sauer, from whom you heard on our pregame show, Brian Rafalski, Lou Vairo, Karen Dietz, all honored here at the Xcel Energy Center tonight before the Wild do battle with the Canadiens. Obviously, people that have had tremendous impact on hockey in the United States.
You know what I loved about Brian Rafalski? He wasn't the biggest defenseman, but boy, he had impact. Great puck mover. Of course, Karen Dietz, an ambassador in her own right for women's hockey.
Let's head down to the public address.
Opening face-off. Karen Dietz, Brian Rafalski, Jeff Sauer, and Lou Vairo. With the U.S.-born alternate captains and U.S. Olympians Max Pacioretty and Zach Parise, please come to center ice for our ceremonial puck drop. All right, Hall of Famers, it's time to drop the puck. Fans, one more time, let's hear it for the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame class of 2014.
Great honor, obviously, for the four of them.
Executive Director Dave Ogren.
Ceremonial pucks dropped for a couple of members of the recent Team USA, Max Pacioretty and Zach Parise. And now the attention shifts to the game tonight between the Wild and the Canadiens and our Northland Ford starting goaltenders.
Well, Carey Price certainly has found his game. He seems to be right in line with where he wants to be, putting up some good numbers off of a very good season last year. Of course, Darcy Kemper, he's found his game again, but his last two outings in this building have not been great. So looking for him to start out well in this building tonight and finish well against this Canadiens team, who is 1-2-1 in their last 4 games. So they're looking to get some momentum, whereas the Wild are looking to become dominant on home ice again.
We're underway in St. Paul. You can see the starting lineups on the bottom of your screen. Same forward group for Mike Yeo and the Wild that we've seen over the last couple of games. The defensive pairings obviously different, and that's a big story tonight. The time on ice leader in the National Hockey League, Ryan Suter, for the first time since joining the Wild, is out of the lineup with illness. So it's Scandella and Spurgeon, Brodin and Folan, Ballard and Prosser on the back end for Minnesota.
He's missed 3 games in his past 4 years, Ryan Suter, so he's obviously very durable, and we hope that whatever is keeping him out of the lineup here this evening is short-lived.
Zucker fires off the shoulder of Price, and he scores!
Goal scorers have a knack for trying things that others would think couldn't work. And this shot shouldn't work by most people's thinking. Look at this. Goal line, off the pipe, off the arm, and into the net. That is the kind of shot that a lot of guys just refuse to try because they say it's got such a low percentage of chance. But that's why you throw the puck at the net when you have nothing else. Default needs to be put the puck at the net. And that's a fortuitous goal early.
And it all started with a face-off win for Mikko Koivu, something we talked about in the pregame show. The Canadiens, the best face-off team in the NHL. Parise here to Granlund. Granlund fires, and Price with a save. Parise quickly on it for Minnesota. Tied up along the boards by Desharnais. And the Canadiens play it out to neutral ice. Last time the teams met, Montreal was a +11 in the face-off circles, 37-26. Koivu, however, won 2/3 of his draws. He was 12-6 that night. P.A. Parenteau hustling after a puck for Montreal, but Scandella gets there first for Minnesota. Scandella plays it off the boards to Brodziak. Brodziak tries to chip it past Eller and does, comes out to neutral ice. Canadians are back in. Sekic into the corner, centered it. Brodziak throws his man down in the corner. The Canadians gain control of the puck. Loose in the high slot. Sekic couldn't get a shot away. Out to the point for a long one. Kemper with a save. And then Prost barrels into the Minnesota goaltender, drawing a push and a shove from Kyle Brodziak.
Well, you mentioned Mikko Koivu, and we'll be watching him on faceoffs, watching everybody, as a matter of fact. And earlier today, I was chatting with Wes Walz, of course, who himself was a centerman and took plenty of faceoffs. And he said, you know what? People kind of forget how important neutral zone faceoffs are. They always talk about having to win the offensive or defensive zone draws, but the fact is if you win those neutral zone faceoffs, guess where the puck's going? Immediately into the offensive zone. So very key in the middle of the ice, as you pointed out. Mikko Koivu won the opening faceoff. They went right down and scored.
Markov in the corner, knocked off the puck by Carter. Subban there to pick it up for Montreal. Lost it. Howlett turns and fires. And a save by Price. Our Toyota key stat takes a closer look at this Montreal club that got off to a brilliant start. 14-4-1. But since then, they've slipped a bit. Maybe back to the pack at 3-3-1. And you can see some of the numbers are very similar. The scoring down a bit, but it makes you wonder if perhaps the 14-4-1 was the aberration.
Well, maybe. And Michel Therrien, I think, and the organization really concerned that their goal scoring wasn't where it needed to be coming into this year. Last year, they were 2.5 goals a game, 21st in the National Hockey League. That's where they're at right now, by the way, at 2.55 per game. And as you mentioned, which one's the real number? I guess time will tell.
Folin along the boards. Lost the puck. Cleared out by Plekanec, but now the Wild dump it right back in. Gallagher has it to Plekanec, caught in his skates, and Zucker plays it back into his own zone. Brodin whips it across for Folin. And now it's Zucker at center. Zucker, the goal scorer for Minnesota, is 10th of the year. By far has reached a new career high at that level. Previous high was 4. Folin fires right on. And a save by Price.
Well, Folin has a bomb of a shot. He said this morning, I like to shoot it if I get the opportunity. And I asked him if there was more time when he was with Iowa, the American Hockey League. And he said, no, it's not so much that there's less time, there's more time out there, but it's a little bit less organized, if you will. A lot more structure in the National Hockey League. That means you might see some more off the stick of Folin, who has a very good shot. But in that case, a wide lane for Price to see all the way through. And if a guy's going to wind up on the point, you need to see some traffic in front.
Folin played 8 games with the Iowa Wild. 2 goals, 2 assists in those games, earning his callback. Subban whips it across for Markov. Tried to get it to Pacioretty. That was deflected. Now a long shot. Kicked away by Scandella, who's tangled up out front. Here come the Wild to center. Granlund, Spurgeon breaking toward the net. Granlund fires across to Parise. Try to get it to Pominville. Pominville in the corner to Granlund. Back to Parise. Out to the point. Scandella, shot saved by Price. Good pressure from the Wild's top line. Parise has it behind the net. Looking for Pominville, but it was deflected by Subban. Scandella hustles to hold the zone for Minnesota. Pominville scoops up a loose puck behind the net. Markov intercepts, clears to the line, and it hops by Prosser. Keith Ballard has to come back to regroup for the Wild. Ballard wheels back to center and fires it in. Good start for Minnesota. They've outshot the Canadiens 6-1 here in the first 3.5 minutes. Ballard fires, looking for a tip, and hit a skate out front, and Eller starts it back the other way. Brodziak intercepts a pass at center, plays it back into his own zone for Prosser. Prosser across to Ballard, and back to Prosser. His pass at center, off target, intended for Brodziak. Icing waved off as Vanek got to the puck first. Brodziak run hard into the end boards, and the Canadians come away with Eller. Eller races back through neutral ice. Had one of the 4 Canadian goals in Montreal's 4-1 win in Montreal earlier this year against the Wild.
Actually had a goal and an assist in that game, so he was obviously very effective. So was this line.
Centering pass hit Folin's skate. Niederreiter comes away with it for Minnesota. Couldn't clear the zone. Brodziak picks it up. Takes his time and then sends it across. Brodin drops back in his own end. Plays it ahead through neutral ice. Relayed in by Carter. Carter, Haula, Fontaine, the fourth line for Minnesota again tonight. They've provided energy over the last couple of games. Ballard gives it to Prosser. Prosser starts ahead for Minnesota, reaches center ice, takes a hit as he dumps it into the Montreal zone. Dale Weiss into the Minnesota zone. A shot pad saved by Kemper, and Markov wound up for a blast on the rebound, but was off target. Carter pushes it forward for Fontaine into the Montreal zone. A shot. That's off the far glass. Fontaine holds at the point, dumps it in as Minnesota will complete a change. Subban behind his own goal. Watched by Jason Zucker. Long lead pass. Just hops by Desharnais at the Minnesota line. And that allows the Wild to exit quickly. Scandella to Zucker with speed into the Montreal zone. Zucker fires. Picked out by Price. Koivu holds. Zucker has it in the corner. Zucker, Koivu, Coyle up front for Minnesota. Gilbert ahead to Pacioretty. Pacioretty reaches center and dumps it in. He heads off on a change as Marco Scandella goes back to play it for Minnesota. The Montreal native got it to Zucker, who banks it off the boards and all the way down, and it'll be icing against Minnesota.
Well, they have some weapons themselves. A couple of blue liners that can fire it as well. And the Canadians want to get a good start in this one. Here's that shot. It's a perfectly placed shot off the pad that created another one that missed the net.
Koivu on the draw against Eller. Third line centerman for Montreal, Lars Eller, 58% on the season. Long shot by Gonchar, held by Darcy Kemper.
Well, the Wild obviously are missing Ryan Suter, and there's some of his numbers. Obviously, it suffices to say that he plays a lot of hockey. He has been involved just everywhere on the ice. Tough to replace a guy who plays half the game, especially when you think of the fact that he really interacts with every player on the ice when he's out there that long. Power play, penalty kill, pretty much every line, and different D partners sometimes too, because you got to mix other players in there to support the minutes that he's playing.
Led the Wild in time on ice in every game but one this season. Only exception is going to be a penalty coming against Brodziak. Only exception was a game against Winnipeg where Spurgeon played slightly more. Suter took 8 minutes in penalties that night. Jason Zucker's goal has Minnesota in front. 1-0. They're shorthanded next.
Welcome back to XFL Energy Center. The Wild with a Jason Zucker goal have the early 1-0 lead. A big sports day in town over at Target Field. A fan favorite reintroduced to Twins territory. Torrey Hunter, who spent 11 seasons with the Twins from 1997 to 2007, is excited to be back.
This is where I needed to be. This is home for me. And, you know, a lot of people might not agree, but majority know that this is where I need to be at the end of my career to give back. But I can play a little bit. I got some bullets left. So that's what I'm here for, to share it, to help this team. I'm just a little piece to the puzzle, that's all. I'm not the guy that's going to make it, you know, turn around right away. But I really think this ball club can really do some things. So I'm here, and I'm here to win.
Hunter still got some power, guys, at age 39. 17 home runs, 83 RBIs last year. Speaking of power, the Montreal Canadiens on their first power play, but that might be evaporated right here.
Well, there's an interference call coming against the Canadiens, so the power play ends 25 seconds after it starts.
The initial penalty to Brodziak for holding now will even up.
26, Montreal's got a minor penalty. Interference.
A little showmanship there by our referee. They're starting to like the mics, maybe. I know a lot of them didn't like it initially, but you got to have fun with it.
That's Wes McCauley, one of the two referees tonight. Mark Lemelin, the other, wearing the orange band. It's 4-on-4 for a minute and a half. Ballard tried to poke the puck loose for Minnesota. Markov lost it, but Plekanec plays it back in his own zone. Markov across to Subban. PK Subban sidesteps Parise. Markov back to Subban. Tried to center. That was caught in the skates of Brodin. Subban trying to spin for some space in the offensive zone. Gives it to Markov. Markov avoids Granlund. Plays to the corner. Galchenyuk back up high. Subban fires, and it was deflected by Kemper up into the netting. And we'll get a face-off in the Minnesota zone.
Looks like it caught the cheater, the glove. Subban is obviously good on the power play, but he's not that bad 4-on-4 and 5-on-5, and was able to move around the zone. He's very active out there. Very active, so it's tough to track him. And he can find a way to get the puck through. He actually spoke pretty eloquently this morning about Jean Beliveau, the fact that he knows the family fairly well, and spoke about the fact that his dad as well was a huge Montreal Canadiens fan. So players in this day and age know Beliveau, and so does the earlier generation who maybe got to see him actually play.
It was remarkable to hear many of the Canadiens players talk about Beliveau and what he meant to the Canadian organization. Max Pacioretty had some great words to say about the longtime Canadian captain. Kemper into the corner for Jared Spurgeon. Spurgeon's long pass starts Pominville through center. He fell and manages to shove the puck into the Canadian zone before he heads off. Gonchar back for Montreal. Sergei Gonchar just acquired a couple of weeks ago from the Dallas Stars in exchange for Travis Moen. Canadians offside here, and a faceoff will come in the neutral zone.
All right, now you take a look at that bench. At the end of the bench, Pominville getting his skate looked at. Don't know if he just fell down or actually caught an edge or lost an edge. Either way, right there. But the one interesting thing is most of the players now have the skate system where they can just pop the blade out, and each player has 2 or 3 blades, replacement blades, on the bench, so trainers don't have to take your skate now to the locker room and sharpen it because they already have 3 replacement blades ready to go. So I'm not sure, I couldn't see, but very likely Tony DaCosta, the equipment manager, just popped the blade out, popped the new blade back in, and Pominville's ready to go again.
Vanek takes his spot on the right wing along with Parise and Granlund. Parise trying to fight his way into the Montreal zone. Lost the puck. Sekic is back the other way for the Canadians. Sekic bearing down on the Minnesota goal. Lost control of the puck before he could get a shot away. And Marco Scandella has it for the Wild. Gives to Folin. 5 aside. The 2 penalties have expired. Folin gains the red line. Dumps it in. Gilbert tapped it there for Montreal. And it's back out to neutral ice. Coyle gives it back to Scandella. Scandella for Niederreiter. Tape to tape for Charlie Coyle with speed into the Montreal zone. Coyle flips one just wide. Rebound controlled by Vanek along the wall. Vanek across to Pominville. Prosser with a shot, and it's deflected on goal. Price hangs on with Niederreiter shoving in front.
Well, I like what I'm seeing so far in this game from the Wild Blue Liners. First of all, what we're seeing is them either rushing the puck or supporting the play so that they can. The other thing we're seeing is Wild defensemen getting the puck towards the net. That last one, Prosser fired at the net knowing that there's a possible deflection in front from Niederreiter. It didn't occur, but the fact is the thought process is there. We've seen Folin fire the puck. We've seen Ballard fire him in as well. So all Wild defensemen seem to be getting in on the act. Of course, Scandella was all the way to the bottom of the circle when he took a shot. So great to see the Wild defenders who are trying to replace Ryan Suter minutes getting up involved into the play.
McCauley is over at the penalty box.
Well, if they're looking for anything that went through the net, it only could have been Coyle's shot coming down the wing. But I didn't appear to me to go through it, but either way, Coyle is the one who they'll be looking at because obviously Prosser's shot was gloved by Price. But Coyle, you remember, busted down the wing, and he had a fairly sharp angle shot by the time he released it. He didn't appear to celebrate in any fashion. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it caught the outside, the back of the net, and kind of veered off. But they look at everything, and so they should.
Charlie Coyle seems to be settling in comfortably on this line with Mikko Koivu and Jason Zucker. I talked a little bit with Coyle about this combination. You've got a couple of guys who bring the big physical game along the wall with Coyle and Koivu. And he said Jason's speed has really allowed us to play the game a little bit differently.
Well, he's allowed to play his game, really, which is what he needs to do. And the only thing you could add to Charlie Coyle is maybe a little nasty, but that maybe is created when he starts being more physical, and it's created when he is going to the net, because guys will make him pay to go to the net. But that's okay, because he's a competitor, and if you make him compete, then that's when he's effective.
Canadians control in the corner. Tangradi plays to the point for Gonchar. Back down low, but Ballard's there for Minnesota. Coyle has his man tied up along the boards. Coyle in behind for Ballard, and the Wild start ahead. Ballard's pass off target intended for Koivu. Ruiz plays it back into the Minnesota zone, but the Canadians had to exit. Malhotra applies half-hearted pressure to Ballard as Prosser now starts back for Minnesota. Wild changing as Ballard comes to center. Erik Haula flips it off the glass and into the Montreal zone. Emelin and Fontaine collide there. Carter delivers a hit behind the net, and the Canadians able to exit with Parenteau. Parenteau's pass too far for Desharnais. Brodin ahead for Carter, who dumps it into the Montreal zone. Emelin back to pick it up for the Canadians. His long lead pass intercepted by Folin. Folin to Haula, and the Wild bring it back in. Fontaine lost the handle for a moment, got it back. Throws the one on goal. Brodin with a shot, and that deflects up and out of play. Wild leading 1-0 on an early goal by Jason Zucker. EQ fan cam. Young guy's got some moves. Wild without Ryan Suter tonight, really nothing new for Minnesota. Their top four defensemen, Suter, Scandella, Spurgeon, Brodin, have only been together in the lineup 9 times in 24 games this season.
A lot of those defensemen out with mumps or bump-like symptoms. Has not been confirmed that that's what Ryan Suter has, but he did get a blood test to that end. So hopefully just not feeling well, and maybe he'll be able to slide by, because obviously it affects different people differently. Scandella wasn't out that long, but Brodin was out for 7 games. Certainly don't want to have Suter out that long.
Scandella bounced back remarkably quickly, only missed 2 games. Brodin described the symptoms as sick as he's ever been. Wild hoping that Suter's is not that long, but it's amazing how well the Wild have adapted to missing one of those guys seemingly all season long.
Well, maybe it's a good test of this Wild depth, because it's going to happen. And those situations, you remember last season, Wild were missing a lot of key elements in January, and it was one of their best months of the year. You got to learn how to play and win when you don't have a full complement.
Granlund intercepts a clearing pass. Parise fires, glove saved by Price. Rebound controlled by Gallagher to Galchenyuk, who comes back the other way. Plekanec into the Minnesota zone. Pominville has it along the boards to Granlund. He and Parise 2-on-2 at the Montreal line. Spurgeon joins the rush. Granlund tried to go all the way across to Pominville, but it was deflected. Pominville to Parise behind the net. Threw it to the far side post. Nobody there for Minnesota, and Emelin has it for Montreal. Dumps it out to neutral. Spurgeon gloves and drops. Parise's right back in. Drops it back to Scandella. Couldn't pull the trigger, now does. It hit Pominville's skate and deflects to the corner. Scandella sends it back in. Another solid shift for the Parise, Granlund, Pominville line.
Remember, they're coming off the last 2 games where they were able to put 28 shots on goal between the 3 of them over the last couple games. That's remarkable.
Koivu intercepts ahead for Zucker. Zucker into the Montreal zone, gave it to Coyle. Coyle had lost his footing just outside the line. Zucker battling with Markov in the corner. Markov plays it ahead. Pacioretty flips it out to neutral ice. Folin tracks it down for Minnesota. Folin whips one across for Zucker. Zucker tried to enter the zone but could not. Instead plays it back to Brodin. Charlie Coyle dumps it in. Gilbert at center ice for Eller. Eller into the Minnesota zone. Gilbert has it. Fire! Saved by Kemper. Came out to challenge and knocked it down with a glove.
Well, that attempted block by one of the Wild defenders actually forced the shot up. It gave Kemper a good read on where that puck was going.
Wild whistled offside. We'll get a neutral zone draw.
Well, you mentioned how well that line was playing, and we talked about how many shots they're putting at the net. Here's why. Good pressure there. And then just a drop pass by Parise, who beat his check all the way back. And then here's the shot I'm talking about. Actually, it looked like it might have gone underneath. You get a player sliding like that, typically you can be fairly sure that it's going to come above him because most players won't try and stick it underneath that sliding player. Looked like it might have gone through him. Good save by Kemper, nevertheless.
Brodziak throws one toward the net. Price got the handle of the stick on it. Niederreiter plays to the near board. Scandella around behind for Niederreiter. Out to the point for Spurgeon, and it skips by him. Galchenyuk chasing him into the Minnesota zone. Galchenyuk comes away with the puck to Gallagher, and he pushed it just wide. Niederreiter at center in the skates of Vanek. Emelin picks up the loose puck across to Gonchar. Headmans for Galchenyuk. Into the Minnesota zone. Gives it to Gallagher. Back for Galchenyuk in the corner. Wild get a chance after Malhotra lost his stick. Brodin good at the line. Drops it back for Haula. A shot saved by Price. Fontaine was breaking for the net. Just hadn't gotten there yet. Weiss into the Minnesota zone. Easily poke checked away by Scandella. Carter withstands a hit. Threads one through for Folin. Folin into the Montreal zone. Works around Markov. A shot saved by Price. Canadians come back the other way. Malhotra flips it into the corner. Tangradi is there. Tied up by Haula. Malhotra continues the fight along the boards. The Canadians face-off specialist. 63% of the draws. Still doesn't have a point on the season. Brodin to Fontaine. Out at center. Too far for Carter. Carter now pressuring Gilbert, who sends it back ahead through neutral ice and tipped into the Minnesota zone by Weiss. Christian Folin starts back for the Wild. Rookie defenseman has his clearing attempt. Intercepted by Desharnais. Desharnais in behind. Plays to the point for Gilbert. Gilbert goes across. Long shot by Allen is wide of the target. Parenteau to Pacioretty on the far side. Back to Desharnais. Desharnais tied up and dumped by Granlund. Pacioretty has it back to Desharnais. Desharnais looking for a lane. Had his centering pass tipped and intercepted. Pominville comes to center. Pominville works his way into the Montreal zone. Flips it softly into the corner. Scandella down from the point to hold the zone for Minnesota. To Parise. In behind Granlund. Granlund to Pominville, and it hopped by him as he tried to saucer one to his right winger.
Could you be in a better spot? I mean, he was right between the hash marks waiting for a pass. Point blank with the goaltender, and it just rolled by him.
Granlund tried to get one to Coyle, who was just coming off the bench. Prosser holds for Minnesota. Coyle pressuring as Allen has it. Allen acquired in a midseason trade from the Anaheim Ducks. Sends it all the way down. Icing waved off. Prosser back to pick it up for Minnesota. 3.5 to go first period. The only goal scored 19 seconds in by Jason Zucker. Canadians with it here. Sekic out to the point. Gonchar's shot deflects off the end boards. Eller trying to jam it in, but Kemper covers and gets a whistle. Gallagher coming close for Montreal. Darcy Kemper with a big stop. Time for our McDonald's Big Moments. Which Wild goal was your favorite in November? Was it Nino's nifty backhand? Jason Zucker going top shelf against the Panthers? Or Marco Scandella with the overtime winner in Dallas? Log on to Fox Sports North's Facebook page to vote or tweet your pick with hashtag Big Moments on Twitter. Scandella overtime goal, one of two he's had this year. Only one other defenseman has 2 overtime goals this season. It's Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
As I mentioned earlier, it's not easy to be a shooter these days from the blue line. Too many guys blocking shots, too much traffic in front, and goaltenders are exceptional. So to be able to get pucks through, like Scandella has, is, well, it's evident of someone who's worked on their game and worked on that part of their game.
Brodin plays it ahead, tipped out by Zucker. Loose puck scooped up by Koivu. Koivu, who assisted on the Zucker goal, dumps it in for Minnesota. Rings around, Charlie Coyle trying to hold, battles with Gallagher. Scandella fires off the end glass. Markov scoops it up for Montreal. Andrei Markov, veteran defenseman, paired with Subban again this season. Lost the puck at the Minnesota line. Scandella slaps it into the Montreal zone, but Gonchar's back to pick it up. Desharnais into the Minnesota zone. Tried to escape Scandella, couldn't do it. Gonchar plays ahead for Pacioretty. Tipped by Pominville, picked up by Granlund. Granlund comes to center. And his pocket pick from behind. Sekic tips it to Pacioretty, who fires. And Kemper got the left pad on it, covers the rebound. Tix the season continues. Pay no ticket fees for all remaining home games. That's been extended through Sunday, December 7th. You can learn more at wild.com/no fees. A pretty good chunk of the month of December will be played at home for Minnesota. In the midst of a 4-game homestand here. After a 3-game trip to San Jose, Arizona, and Chicago, it's another 4-game homestand.
Well, it's time to get paid back. They spent plenty of time on the road in the month of November.
2-on-1 for Minnesota. Eller trying to catch up with the play for Montreal. Brodziak just flipped it toward the net. He didn't have an angle to get the puck across to Vanek on the play. Prosser back for Minnesota. Gives to Brodin. Brodin across to Prosser. Looking for Vanek, but it was intercepted by Eller. Brodziak has it for the Wild. Across to Brodin. Brodin ahead for Niederreiter. And it'll be icing against Minnesota. Bernard's game reset. It was a fast start for Minnesota. After a face-off win by Mikko Koivu, Jason Zucker scored his 10th of the year. Christian Poland in his first game back with the big club. A couple of shots on goal.
It's good to see Wild defenders jumping into play and getting pucks at the net. Nobody controls the game like Ryan Suter, but you get everybody doing their jobs, stepping up in that top 4 especially. The Wild could still play a solid game with the structure that they have.
It's interesting because everybody looks at this matchup and would think of PK Subban as the most offensive-minded defenseman in the game. Parise fires wide. Granlund holds for Minnesota. The reality is the Wild have 3 defensemen who average more shots on goal per game. Scandella to Pominville, but he pushed it just wide.
Oh, and there's a good example. Scandella's been below the face-off circles on a couple of occasions. That time, he could have got the handle on it. He was definitely pulling it across the crease.
Spurgeon, Scandella, Suter all average more shots on goal per game than Montreal defenseman PK Subban. Emelin with it for Montreal. Banks it ahead, too far for Pacioretty. Spurgeon trying to make sure there's icing. Pacioretty goes hard into the end wall as he and Spurgeon were racing for the loose puck. Icing is called against Montreal.
This is what actually the automatic icinger is supposed to eliminate, and just kind of a late whistle because the race was pretty close. And listen up. Just lost an edge. Looks like Spurgeon put a hand in there, but they are just kind of playing off of each other a little bit. Man, he goes in heavily, but goes off under his own power.
So even though it's icing against Montreal because of the injury, they allow Pacioretty to leave the ice. Canadians asking for an explanation as to why there was icing when Pacioretty went into the wall in front of Spurgeon on the play. Whistle had already blown. Scandella to Brodin for a drive and hit traffic. Koivu trying to hold the zone. Now Hotra and then Desharnais able to force it into the Minnesota zone. Scandella back for the Wild. Final seconds of the first period. started fast with a goal 19 seconds in. That was the only marker of the period. The Wild with 16 shots on goal and a 1-0 lead.
Well, good posture by the Wild so far. They want to take that home ice advantage and really live it. And they certainly are so far in this one. Kemper solid in the first period. Good sign.
Our CenturyLink linked to what's next. Kevin Gord will chat with NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman. But up next, he'll visit with the goal scorer, Jason Zucker. Wild 1, Canadiens 0 after 1 in St. Paul. Jason Zucker scored 19 seconds into the first period. That's the only goal of the game thus far. Zucker's 10th of the season. And the Wild lead the Canadiens 1-0 after 1. First period has been kind to Minnesota all year long. The Wild now +8. The Canadiens near the bottom of the NHL, -15. But Montreal seems to get progressively better as the games go on. They're a plus team in both the second and third periods. Spurgeon to Granlund. Pominville tried to go back to Granlund. Winds up off the end boards. Markov played it ahead. Pacioretty relays to the Minnesota line. Spurgeon there, back to Scandella. Pominville deflects it into Montreal territory. And Carey Price leaves it for Subban. Subban's pass ahead for Pacioretty. Pacioretty, who had a hat-trick against the Wild last year when these teams met in Montreal. Canadiens won the meeting in Montreal last year 6-2. Wild split the season series by winning 4-3 at home. Scandella with a shot. Saved by Price. Loose puck. And Parise sent it just wide. Rebound controlled by Sakic, who plays it ahead. Plekanec into the corner. Galchenyuk threw it out front of the net, and it's deflected by Emelin and out to neutral ice. Zucker racing in after it for Minnesota. Coyle joins the battle with Emelin. Coyle to Zucker behind the net. Back to Coyle. He lifted the stick of Gallagher to let it go by for Folin. Folin's pass rings around the glass. Gonchar ahead to Plekanec to the line, but Brodin holds. Loose puck picked up by Zucker. To Coyle, a shot, and he sent it wide. Another good shift for the Koivu-Coyle-Zucker line. Zucker to Koivu. Back to Zucker, who tried to center. Coyle was tied up by Emelin and couldn't get a shot away. Galchenyuk plays it off the glass. It deflects high in the air. Koivu back to Folin. Folin to Zucker, who taps to Koivu. Just inside the Montreal line. The captain sends it down low. Zucker pulled down by Gonchar. Vanek has it. Vanek to the point for Prosser. Prosser waiting, then sends it back down low. Gonchar has it for Montreal. Koivu heads off on a change, and this will give the Canadiens a chance to clear the zone. Emelin's pass off target, and Prosser has it. Off the boards for Niederreiter. Niederreiter tips it in. Vanek pursues. Emelin plays it ahead. A lot of time in the Montreal zone early in the second period. Ballard to Brodziak, who dumps it right back in for the Wild. 2.5 minutes into the second, most of it played on this end of the ice.
Well, they call it the long change period, but when you're in the offensive zone, it's not a long change at all. So the Wild can really do themselves a lot of good by keeping that puck over that red line, wear down the Montreal Canadiens.
Eller to Prost. His shot deflects up and into the netting. And a faceoff coming in the Minnesota zone. A great chance moments ago for Charlie Coyle.
Well, good to see him shooting the puck. They actually had to review one of the shots in the first period that brushed the outside of the net. It was no goal, but he got a rolling puck here, and it still had a chance. If that puck's laying flat, well, maybe he finds himself with a goal. But good to see him shooting it. He has a hard shot. He's got the same kind of build as a guy like Niederreiter. With him going to the net and showing size and strength, could be good for the Minnesota Wild to see him firing the puck more and more.
Allen holds the zone for Montreal. Tangradi tied up in the corner. Got it ahead to Malhotra. Weiss leaves it for Tangradi in the corner. He's tied up by Haula. Centering pass. Comes loose to the point. Gilbert a shot. That deflects off the glove of Kemper. Weiss brings it around for Malhotra on the far side. Tangradi in the corner. Watched by Haula. Plays it out to Allen. Allen winds and fires wide off the end boards. Weiss tried to jam one in, but Kemper was right there. And now Folin banks one all the way down. This will be icing against the Wild.
I think that shot was actually created to bounce the puck out front of the net. It almost worked for the Canadiens there. They don't see a lane, and as a defenseman, if you don't see that lane, you got to get it to the front of the net. Take a look at this shot by Allen. Out to the point, and no. Decide to bank it off the end wall. That was a smart play. Weiss almost was able to jam that home. Goaltenders have to be aware. You can't come out too far to cut the angle because you got to get back to your post.
Markov trying to get it to Gallagher. Subban back in his own zone. Pacioretty deflects it ahead. Wow, they're going to be offside. Parise exits the zone. Scandella drives one in. Pominville on the forecheck. Markov gets there first. And the loose puck picked up by Sakic. His pass behind Desharnais. And the Wild are quickly back the other way. Parise's pass. Looking for Granlund, but he was in check. Pominville trying to settle it down. Sakic brings it in. His shot blocked by Spurgeon. He's the team leader in block shots. Sakic pressured by Spurgeon. Plays to the far side. Pacioretty back to the point for Emelin. Emelin with a long one. That goes off the end boards. Desharnais gloves and drops. His pass out of the reach of Gilbert and all the way down. Carey will come out to play it. And Price nearly turned it over. Put it right off the stick of Parise. Parise with Pominville breaking toward the net. Threw it off the pads. Ballard holds his own. Only for a moment. Now Eller racing after a loose puck. Ballard able to get the stick on it and deflect it in behind the goal where Kemper has it. And now Koivu for Minnesota. His pass off target, but Zucker jumps around a check. Pressures Carey Price. Emelin plays it ahead. Ballard spins away from Parenteau. Their battle continues as Ballard gets the puck out to neutral ice. And now Charlie Coyle scoops it up. Coyle into the Montreal zone. A long shot right on. And Price able to hold.
Well, you don't want to do this around Parise. He practices this every practice. I mean, knocking pucks down, deflections. And so if you're going to saucer one, you better make sure it's out of his reach. And that almost was 2-0 Wild. Parise, so good at turning pucks over in the offensive zone for the Wild's advantage. Also around the blue line, neutral zone. Doesn't get enough credit for what he does away from the puck. Doesn't get enough credit for the defensive plays that he makes or the plays that he makes to transition things back to offense.
Poland's shot was blocked out front. Galchenyuk scoops it up, taps ahead to Gallagher. Gallagher into the Minnesota zone. Works his way to the corner. Poland got there, and then Brodin comes away with the puck. Niederreiter to Vanek. Wild could have a 3-on-2 at center, but Prodziak's in a half a stride early.
Thought he was going to get the feed there.
Thomas Vanek, 2 goals so far for the Wild, but continues to produce offense. A dozen assists, tied for the team lead.
He definitely has great vision for the ice.
Draw controlled by the Canadiens. Emelin comes back in his own zone. Emelin's pass deflected by Niederreiter. Malhotra into the Minnesota zone, but cleared immediately. Niederreiter has Malhotra tangled up in front of the Montreal bench. Emelin plays ahead. Tangradi sends it in, and it's offside. First period goal by Jason Zucker, still the only marker. Jason Zucker with the game's only goal. Canadians have been held to 8 shots on goal over the first 26 minutes. Spurgeon plays it ahead for Minnesota. Pominville tied up by Markov. Kemper to Spurgeon, and now Granlund. Granlund's pass ahead, too far for Parise. Desharnais comes back the other way. His pass hit a skate. Pominville turns it back, and Parise's there for Minnesota. Granlund waits for support, drops it back for Scandella, and Scandella fires it in. Price to play it. Granlund couldn't catch it along the near boards. Pacioretty whips it across. Sakic in. Sakic has it poked away by Spurgeon at the last second. And Marco Scandella Works his way past Eller. Granlund relays it out to center ice. Eller brings it back in for Montreal. Eller fires, and the puck deflects off of Kemper. Spend the day with Wild forward and White Bear Lake native Ryan Carter. Tag along on an actual game day for one of the newest members of the Minnesota Wild. We captured number 18 from early morning to late evening. The team battled the Arizona Coyotes. An all-new episode of Becoming Wild premieres December 5th at 10 on Fox Sports North.
We talked about face-offs in this one. Mikko Koivu has done well again here. 67% in the face-off circle in this one. Big defensive zone draw here for him.
Teams are 50-50. The Canadiens win this one. Galchenyuk tried to center. Coyle starts back for the Wild. Coyle to Zucker. Zucker tied up by Gonchar along the wall. Koivu supports to play it into the corner, but the Canadiens have it now with Emelin. He's hit by Coyle. Koivu holds his own. Couldn't get it deep. And the Canadiens are back through neutral ice. Plekanec fires it into the Minnesota zone. Gallagher holds along the wall. His long shot is held by Kemper.
Little communication there between Koivu and Darcy Kemper. And speaking of communication, Mikko Koivu was saying this morning that before he takes a face-off, there's a conversation, and every centerman does this, about where they're going to try and win it to, and if they lose it, where they might think it will go. Because they know their opponent fairly well. And a good face-off win there by the Wild. Haula.
Carter forces his way into the Montreal zone. Couldn't get much of a shot away. Tangradi lost it to Fontaine. Fontaine plays down low. Carter with a heavy hit on Allen. Then he sends Gilbert to the ice. Fontaine still tussling in the corner with Eller. Scandella winds and fires. Blocker saved by Price. Eller around behind the net. Allen to Tangradi. He jumps around Spurgeon's check. Parenteau into the Minnesota zone, tied up by Scandella, and he lost the puck. Carter gives it to Spurgeon, and Jared Spurgeon clears for Minnesota. Markov taps to Subban. Back to Parenteau, who relays it into the Minnesota zone. Marco Scandella back there for Minnesota. Spurgeon drives it ahead. It's tipped to Niederreiter. Niederreiter to the middle, a shot. Blocker saved by Price. Become Niederreiter's go-to move on his zone entries. Working back to the middle of the rink. Vanek with a shot.
Hit a post. Hit a post against Montreal. In Montreal, doing the exact same thing. He was in a little tighter this time.
Niederreiter scoops up a loose puck. Gives it to Vanek. Vanek tried to go back across. Brodin has it and fires it in. Niederreiter plays it along the end boards to Vanek. Vanek watched by Subban. Tried to get one through to Granlund. A long shot from the point. Hit Vanek out front. Canadiens clear. Prost. Watched by Brodin. Vanek has him tied up along the boards, and Kemper leaves it for Folin. Christian Folin starts ahead for Minnesota. Granlund through neutral ice, dumps it in. Minnesota completes their change. Pominville couldn't hold along the far boards, and Prost plays it back in his own end. Emelin out of the head to Weiss, who relays it into the Minnesota zone. Ballard knocked off the puck. Prosser delivers a hit, and Pominville comes away with it. Parise tried to work the puck around Emelin. He took a jab in the face as he got the puck in the zone, and they're going to have a penalty against the Canadiens.
Well, a little chin music there. Parise always forces guys to either put an arm out or try and slow him down. He just is always right on top. And you see the puck right in his feet, chip it by him, and
Montreal penalty number 74, 2 minutes roughing.
Gets the glove up in the face of Parise. It's tough to lock him down, too. He's so shifty that sometimes you're just going to give him a quick little shot to slow him down, and you get up a little bit too high. In that case, Emelin takes only the third penalty of the game.
Second power play for Minnesota, but the first full-length power play. still just under 10% for the year. Brodin plays it across for Pominville. Wanted the one-timer, but couldn't get it off. Back to Brodin. Brodin takes Suter's spot on this power play unit, along with Parise, Vanek, Koivu, and Pominville. Brodin fakes the shot, goes to Parise. Parise down low, Koivu. Koivu back to Parise, and now up high for Brodin. Brodin to Parise, a drive, and that hit a skate, never reached the net. Pacioretty shorthanded the other way, fires one in. It's gloved and dropped by Kemper. About a half minute into the Wild power play. Brodin for Koivu. Hands it off to Parise. Drops it back to Brodin. Brodin to Pominville. Pominville, a shot saved by Price. And we'll get an offensive zone draw for Minnesota. Minnesota with the upper hand on the faceoff circle so far today, and that's a significant edge because the Canadiens have reversed their fortunes of recent years and are the best faceoff team in the NHL.
Yeah, and as we said, it's about the centerman, of course, because they are head-to-head, but it's about who's on your wing as well and how you guys are winning possession. That's how it's judged, possession, not whether you pull the puck back or not. So the Wild doing a little bit better in that department. Mikko Koivu continually in the upper portion with his draws.
There's an example as Granlund may have been beaten on the draw, but Niederreiter wins the battle for the puck, so the Wild maintain the zone. Charlie Coyle to Niederreiter, taps it back to Spurgeon. Spurgeon couldn't hold the zone. Coyle, Niederreiter, Granlund, the forwards on the second power play unit for Minnesota, with Scandella and Spurgeon at the points. Canadiens have been good on the penalty kill, particularly good lately, 9 out of 10 over their last 6 games. Spurgeon in the corner. Tried to get one through for Coyle, now leaves it for Niederreiter. Niederreiter to Coyle in the corner. Banks it off the boards for Scandella. Scandella back to Coyle. Half a minute on the power play. A cross-ice pass was deflected, but Spurgeon gains control. Coyle to Niederreiter. Niederreiter bumped off the puck by Gilbert, taken down. Coyle supports the play along the boards. 6 players watching carefully to see how the puck will emerge. Spurgeon finally has it at the point. Spurgeon works his way to the middle to Granlund. Granlund down low, Coyle. Coyle a shot, saved by Price, and Price covers the rebound. Niederreiter and Allen jabbing at each other in front of the Montreal goal.
And Malhotra just teeing off on Coyle at the side of the net as well. Good thought process here to get the puck to the front of the net. Right here on the goal line. Now get to the front of the net and start hacking away. And the paddle, you know, is down. But if you can bang away on that and create a rebound before he can get his glove on it, then a guy like Niederreiter, who's also crashing, may have a chance. Price was able to cover it up, and you're going to have to pay some sort of a price when you go to the net.
2 seconds left in the Minnesota power play. Koivu wins the draw. Brodin sidesteps one man. Got it to Pominville, who plays down low for Parise. Canadiens at full strength. Koivu a shot, saved by Price. Rebound cleared. Folin holds. Parise. Back to Folin. Folin's long shot, score!
They're going to talk about this one, see if there was a high stick. Pominville was in front, and we'll see if he got a piece of it, because this was a great shot, and it's the quick release that gets it through. I don't know if that hit Subban or Pominville or not. When Pominville looked like he was getting out of the way of that one, but where on the stick did it hit him? And was it below the height of the crossbar? We'll have a good look at this because he's so close to the net.
And his stick goes up into the air, but your point is a good one. Where on the shaft of the stick does it deflect?
If it hits it at all. I'm not sure if it hit him at all, but he seemed to indicate that it could have.
Based on the way Pominville reacted, it clearly hit the stick. Watch the puck flutter.
It does as it hit Subban's, though. No, I guess Subban didn't have his stick up, so.
It goes off the shaft of Pominville's stick, I believe, but as you see him duck, there's a pretty good portion of the stick that's below the crossbar.
Well, we've seen a few looks at it, and let's really get a good look at this one. It slows down here, and see if it hits the shaft of the stick. Oh, yeah, there you go. And the only question now is that crossbar below? Because it does hit Pominville's stick, who's ducking. I haven't seen too many deflections like that before.
That angle right there gives you an idea of height, and it looks awfully close.
It was coming right at Pominville's face, and so he was ducking with the stick in the air. And it doesn't matter whether he was attempting to deflect it or not. As long as it hit the stick at a height below the crossbar, it should be a goal. But if they determine that it was a little bit higher than that, well, then they'll disallow it. Second reviewed goal in this game. Remember in the first period, they took a look at a Charlie Coyle shot that actually hit the outside of the mesh of the net. No question it hits Pominville's stick.
And the other angle we showed you gives you a better idea of the height. Really tough to tell from that angle whether or not the contact with the stick is above or below the crossbar.
Coming in from the point, you see it's coming at Pominville, so he ducks, hits the stick, and what I'm curious about is how a puck that hits a stick that's up and down actually deflects downwards. So you'd have to almost think that it just deflected sideways.
Well, you could see on the one angle the puck does go down because
I think it's mostly because it takes the speed off of it.
Velocity is down, so gravity does its thing. But
very, very tight proximity. But it's still, you got to think, it's pretty tough for a stick to deflect it downwards in that situation. Normally it's held at their waist or a little bit higher chest level and deflected downwards.
Here's the explanation.
After video review, it has been determined we have a good hockey goal.
Oh, there you go.
And Jason Pominville continues his success against Montreal. Coming into play tonight, 11 goals, 22 assists, 33 points in 52 career games against the Canadiens. Scored a goal for Minnesota against them in Montreal, the only goal of that game, and adds one here tonight for a 2-0 Minnesota lead.
I don't know if you call that highlight reel. He basically was ducking and closing his eyes. Trying not to get hit in the face with it. Take him any way you can get him. When you put that together with Zucker's goal from the goal line, the Wild have had 2 goals, very unlikely type goals, but they haven't had a lot of those types of goals this season, so you'll take them.
Folin and Parise with assists on the goal. First assist of the year for Christian Folin. Gonchar runs Carter over right in front of the Minnesota bench. And the Wild now playing with a 2-goal lead on home ice. Pacioretty to Sakic. Spins along the boards, tried to play it back to the point, and hops by Allen. Vanek races after it, and Allen got there first. Penalty coming on the play. Allen is going to take a penalty, and Minnesota will go back on the power play after the good hustle by Vanek. Jason Pominville extends Minnesota's lead to 2-0.
2 minutes holding this.
Back, the Wild have opened up a 2-0 lead in the Montreal Canadiens. We're on the bench with Wild forward Nino Niederreiter. You get that second goal. The crowd's in the game right now. Now you get a power play. How big is this next couple minutes for your team?
It's definitely huge. I feel like we do a lot of good things, and obviously we draw a couple of penalties here, so just got to make sure we stay on track and good things will happen.
All right, guys, we'll see if the Wild can keep the mojo going here.
Wild on to the power play for the 3rd time. Again, it's Brodin taking the spot normally occupied by Ryan Suter, Pominville, Koivu, Parise, and Vanek, the 4 forwards.
And even though you can argue that that wasn't a power play goal, it was the power play that kept them in the offensive zone that generated that chance. And so the Wild maybe can add an actual power play goal here.
Koivu plays down low for Parise. Back to Koivu. Koivu to Parise. To Vanek, and he shoved it just wide. Pominville hustling after it. To Brodin, and then across to Koivu. Koivu trying to work his way around Malhotra. Back to Parise, and then Brodin. Brodin fires, saved by Price. Rebound Pominville in the corner. Out to the point, Brodin. Brodin across to Parise. Parise to Brodin. Pominville wanted the one-timer, couldn't get it off. Now fires just wide. Parise centers, loose to Brodin. Pominville a drive, saved by Price, and the rebound deflects out of play.
Well, it's deflected right out of play, and so it's going to be another penalty coming up to Montreal for delay of game, I believe. Pominville blasting the puck. This one
79 Montreal.
off the pad.
Delay of game.
Yeah, it's going to be a delay of game, so the Wild with a 5-on-3 now for 58 seconds. And Koivu immediate to point to the referee. Although I think he realized Markov had thrown it up into the netting.
Wild just spent part of their practice the other day working 5-on-3s. Not an incredibly long period of time, but at least a part of the practice, and a timeout called here to make sure they have the right personnel rested and ready.
2 minutes delay of game. Time the penalty 14
Isolate.
minutes. Markov delay of game minor in 14 minutes.
The lone guy, there's obviously going to be a couple, but isolating someone on that 5-on-3 for a quick shot is going to be key, and we'll see if the Wild can move the puck around to a spot where they can get that quick shot off.
Now it's Jared Spurgeon taking the spot of Brodin. Same 4 forwards. Koivu, Pominville, Vanek, and Parise. 5-on-3 for nearly a minute. Plekanec, Pacioretty, Emelin, the trio for Montreal. Draw controlled by Koivu. Pominville sets it up in the middle, hands it off to the captain, now to Spurgeon. Spurgeon, down low, Parise, trying to slide one through to Pominville. It was deflected and then allowed Price to cover.
Well, they had Montreal outnumbered down low on that play. A quick feed down low, and it was a 3-on-1 down low. Watch how Spurgeon gets it, and the quick feed, all of a sudden, Vanek, Parise, and Pominville on the back door.
Canadians get a very important clear off the draw. Emelin got just enough of it to allow Price a chance to cover, and he did. Parise into the Montreal zone. Emelin fell. Parise centers to Pominville, and he redirects just wide. Out to the point, Spurgeon. Spurgeon to Koivu. Koivu down low, Pominville. Back to Koivu. Across to Spurgeon. Vanek setting up out front. Parise. Koivu. Koivu down low, Pominville hops over his stick. Pominville has it back out to Spurgeon. 10 seconds in the 2-man. Pominville fires. That's blocked by Pacioretty and out of play.
Parise got a good jump right off the zone entry, and it got the benefit of a defender falling down and just couldn't connect there. He had to get it in the air to get it over the defender's sticks and skates, and Pominville was not able to make contact, but a couple of close calls there on that one, and they still have 6 seconds left on the 5-on-3.
Jason Zucker takes the spot of Charlie Coyle on the second power play unit for Minnesota. Spurgeon holds his own. Malhotra got a piece of it, and Prost is able to clear. Allen's back. It's 5-on-4 for a minute. Scandella for Minnesota. Back to Spurgeon. Niederreiter, Granlund, Zucker up front for the Wild. Spurgeon, Scandella on the points. Granlund to Zucker. Granlund in the corner, ridden hard off the puck. Niederreiter joins the battle. Finally gets his stick free and got it to Scandella. Across to Spurgeon. Back to Scandella in the middle. Scandella to Zucker. Zucker down low, Granlund. Granlund waits for a man to go down. Gives to Zucker. Now Scandella. Back to Zucker. Zucker to Scandella. Just out of his reach. Cross pressures, but Scandella got there first. Spurgeon's pass intercepted and cleared. And down to 15 seconds in the Wild power play.
Zucker getting some power play time. He got about 20 seconds last game on the tail end of a 5-minute major. And so he's been in all the power play meetings. And Zucker now seeing a little bit more power play time.
Icing against the Canadians just after the power play expired.
And I asked him, do you know if you're going to be out there? He said, nope, I'm just ready. I'm ready for if I'm getting the opportunity. Obviously, if you got a guy that's got a feel, and we've seen Nina Ryder have a good feel in the last month. Zucker has been putting pucks into the net, so kind of filter them in a little bit, spot them at times on the power play, and they could add some offense.
Fontaine plays down low for Carter, who tried to center. Nobody there. Loose puck taken away by Fontaine. Howell fires, and it's wide and up and into the netting. Wild on top, 2-0. Ryan Suter out tonight for Minnesota. Wild leading 2-0, so the rest of the Wild decor having to pick up the slack. And these are the minutes played so far by the Wild's top four. Keep in mind at this point, Suter's normal pace would have him at about 18 minutes.
Yeah, and these guys will probably bump up a little bit when you're spreading it out a little bit. And when there's power play penalty kill time, it obviously changes things. On the season, Scandella has averaged 21-43. Spurgeon 24-43 and Brodin 23-44. Those are their time on ice average on the season. Obviously, Folin doesn't have a huge body of work so far this season, but even he will get a little bit more time.
Folin's high this year for Minnesota is just a shade over 20 minutes.
Although his average is about 14.09, so he's approaching that very quickly.
Folin at the point. Plays across. Brodin, a long shot. Held by Price. Carter and Subban shoving in front of the Montreal net. Markov tangled up with Haula. All rights to this broadcast are reserved. Any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, telecommunication to the public, or other unauthorized use of this broadcast without the express written permission of the Minnesota Wild is prohibited.
Wild keep putting the puck at the net. Good sign here for them. It's not even after 2 periods yet, and they're up 30-9 on shots. And the defensemen are jumping in on the act. They are pushing a lot of pucks towards Carey Price.
Puck gets by Spurgeon and comes all the way down. Kemper to play it for Minnesota. Spurgeon deflects it ahead. Loose puck knocked down by Desharnais. And now picked up by Parise, who floats one out through neutral. Pominville pressuring for Minnesota. Canadians clear. Icing was waved off early. Spurgeon has to play it around to Parise. Parise taps it up the boards for Granlund. Granlund couldn't get it out of the zone. Pacioretty down low for Montreal. Sidestep Spurgeon. Centered, and Weiss was alone on the back door. Could not redirect. Pacioretty tried to get it to Desharnais. Intercepted by Granlund and cleared. This will be icing against the Wild.
As I mentioned, the Wild defenseman getting pucks at the net. 8 shots of the 30 are from defensemen. Folin has a great shot. He fired it. Prosser looking for Niederreiter in front. Folin has been fairly active in that regard. I like the way Scandella not only is getting shots, but he's dropping down into the zone. And of course, don't forget that Folin's shot from a point deflected off Pominville for Wild's second goal of the game.
Granlund Whipped a backhander that was deflected by Markov and wide. Subban has it for Montreal. Subban plays ahead to Parenteau. Parenteau from center ice into the Minnesota zone. Ballard back for the Wild. Played it to the line and hops by Emelin. Vanek pressuring. Emelin able to get it across for Gilbert. Ballard there for Minnesota. Pass handcuffed Niederreiter at center ice. Parenteau plays it back in for the Canadiens. Ballard is there for the Wild. Ballard's pass off target, intercepted by Emelin. Ballard will get another try. Withstands an Eller hit. Got it to Vanek. Vanek across for Brodziak and then Niederreiter. Brodziak breaks for the net. Niederreiter flips it wide. Vanek scoops it up. Got it to Niederreiter. Out to the point for Prosser. Prosser's long shot goes just wide with Price down in the Montreal crease. Brodin protects the puck. Got it across to Prosser. And back to Brodin.
Final minute
Brodin
in the second
had
period.
his clearing attempt, hit the linesman's skate, and will get a whistle and a face-off.
Good game management so far by the Wild. I think a lot of good things done.
Window Concepts game reset. Zucker and Pominville, the goals for Minnesota. Parise continues his scoring surge since his return from concussion, 9 points in 8 games. Subban across to Markov. Gallagher races into the Minnesota zone. Gives to Galchenyuk. Galchenyuk to Subban. He centers. And it was deflected. Zucker to Coyle. Coyle clears to neutral ice. 40 seconds left in the period. Zucker knocks one out of the air. Subban recovers. Across to Markov and then Galchenyuk. It's tipped in by Gallagher, but Koivu back checking for Minnesota. Breaks up the play before a scoring chance develops. Brodin plays it out to neutral. Markov is there for Montreal. Galchenyuk sidesteps a check at the Minnesota line. Then lost the puck to Koivu. His clearing attempt tipped by Markov. Weiss plays it down low. Weiss grabs it back. A shot saved by Kemper. Brodin spun around by Weiss behind the net. Pacioretty with it. His shot deflects off the stick and the horn sounds, ending the second with Minnesota's dominance continuing in a 2-0 game.
Just managing the puck really well, getting it offensively towards the net, engaging their defensemen, and Darcy Kemper, although not that busy, has been solid. So all in all, a good game for 2/3 the way through.
Wild with a 30-10 edge in shots. A 2-goal lead heading to the third. Kevin Gord will chat with Christian Poland when we come back. Jason Zucker and Jason Pominville. And the Wild lead the Canadiens 2-0 after 2 here in St. Paul. Our Bud Light What's on Tap. The Wild continue this homestand against division leaders with a battle against the Ducks on Friday. The Islanders are here on Tuesday. And then the Wild head west, San Jose and Phoenix, with a trip that concludes in Chicago against the Blackhawks. Wild have been one of the best home teams in hockey. 5th in the NHL, 7-2-1 on home ice. By contrast, the Canadiens, the 5th best road team in hockey. They've been very good, 8-4-1 away from Montreal.
Good to see the Wild playing a solid game here. Obviously, the last 3 have had their interesting moments. Given up lead in the third period against Winnipeg, which they eventually won in overtime. Of course, lost to Los Angeles. So good solid effort here so far in this one.
Subban fires, saved by Kemper, loose puck, and a good chance for Montreal. But Saccoccia couldn't find the handle on the puck. Subban with a shot. That's stopped by Kemper. Coyle tries to clear. Parenteau to the point. Markov winds and fires. That was blocked on the way, and Zucker starts back for the Wild. 30 seconds in the offensive zone there for Montreal might have been their longest stretch of the night in Wild territory.
And Bolin just took a slapper blocking a shot from the point. He's shaking that off on the bench.
Weiss in for Montreal, forced to the outside by Scandella. Drops it back. Desharnais with a shot. And a save by Kemper with Pacioretty nearby.
Well, Subban's known for his really solid slapper, but look at this shot. And you tell me what his intention was. I think he was just trying to create a rebound. This is just a little saucer wrist shot off the pad. Watch where the rebound goes. Right into traffic. And so Subban is known for slapping that puck pretty hard, but he can think the game through as well, and that was an interesting play.
Pacioretty flips one wide. Gonchar holds at the point. In behind, Desharnais pinned up against the boards by Scandella. Desharnais trying to protect the puck. Looked to sneak one through to Weiss. That was intercepted, cleared to the line, but not out. Weiss holds the zone. Parise waits for the puck to settle, trying to sneak one up the boards for Pominville. Granlund comes away with it, back to Spurgeon. Spurgeon spins away from Desharnais and plays it back to Scandella. While in the midst of a change, Parise tipped it, nobody home, and Gallagher dumps it back into the Minnesota zone. Faceoff will come back into the Minnesota zone here. This is the final meeting of the year between these teams. Wild trying to gain a split in the season series. Galchenyuk out to the point. Long shot by Gilbert. Blocked and picked up by Ballard. Ballard comes to center. Plays it into the Montreal zone. Allen is there. Couldn't get it past Vanek along the boards. Brodziak with a shot. He's knocked down by Gallagher and didn't get all of it. Gilbert plays ahead. The Cannons to the Minnesota line. Taken away by Ballard and back out to center. Galchenyuk is there for Montreal. Prosser flips it out to neutral ice. Gilbert, the former Wild defenseman, plays across for Allen. Allen sends it in. And we're going to get an intentional offsides call against Montreal. Tonight on Fox Sports Live, the Sixers go for history against the T-Wolves. Full highlights from Minnesota and across the NBA. An interview with Heisman favorite Marcus Mariota. And a full report from Cleveland. The Browns named their starter. What does it mean for Johnny Football? All that coming up tonight on Fox Sports Live. Folland here plays it back into the corner. Subban is there for Montreal. Out to neutral ice. 3-on-3 at the Minnesota line. Christian Folland back to play it. Picked up his first assist of the year earlier tonight on the goal by Pominville. Loose in the far corner. Prust and Folland converge there. Prust comes away with it for Montreal. Prust goes down. No whistle coming. Fontaine deflects the puck to the line, and then it's finally jammed out of the zone by Carter. Fontaine pressuring. Subban spins away from it and comes back the other way. Koivu in the Minnesota zone, plays it back to Brodin. Brodin to Folland, who plays it up through neutral ice. Deflected off of Parenteau. Emelin back to play it. Gonchar pressured by Koivu. Saccoccia into the Minnesota zone. Parenteau to the point. Emelin a long shot. Pad saved by Kemper.
That got through very nicely for Montreal, and good positioning was the one that stopped that.
Koivu centered, looking for Zucker, who was breaking for the net. Emelin intercepts, didn't get much on his clearing attempt. Koivu plays it right back in, and the Wild will change. Coyle applies pressure while Minnesota changes behind him. Parenteau comes to center, dumps it past Ballard. Prosser back to pick it up. He spins away from a hit in the corner. Saccoccia comes away with the puck to Subban, a shot. Saved by Kemper. Montreal applying some pressure here early in the third. Subban sidesteps Parise. Still with the puck. Then fires. Parise got a skate on it. Pacioretty in behind the net for Eller. Tied up there by Prosser. Markov across to Subban. His shot blocked. And Parise whacks it out of the zone. Parise's stick is broken on the play. Canadians maintain the zone. Desharnais circling the net. To the point. Subban a drive. It was blocked by Granlund. Granlund's hobbled a bit. Weiss to Markov. He wanted the one-timer. Now goes to Subban. Parise has a new stick. Subban shot tipped wide by Weiss. Still loose in the Minnesota zone. Desharnais to Subban. His shot blocked on the way and never reached the net. Ballard got a shin pad on that one. Markov sends it out front. It's tipped. Kemper got a piece of it. Rebound bounces high in the air. Granlund to the wall but not out. Pacioretty across to Markov. Settles. Pacioretty redirects wide. Tremendous pressure by the Canadians. Pacioretty works in front. A shot. Got his own rebound. Saved by Kemper.
This all started when Zach Parise's stick broke on a wall battle, and the last shot was Pacioretty getting a couple looks. The Canadians really own the zone here, getting a few through, and Subban definitely using his slap shot in that sequence a couple times. Saw a high block there by Prosser. Granlund also took one solidly on the lower part of the body and kind of stung him a little bit. Pressure by Montreal, the real only pressure that we've seen from them on a consistent basis in this hockey game. So they're trying to make a late surge here.
Gallagher fires. Pad save Kemper. Rebound controlled by Niederreiter, who plays it all the way down. Gilbert, then Emelin, now Gilbert. Ahead to Gallagher. Plekanec to the Minnesota line. Forced to the outside by Scandella. Tries the wraparound. Kemper got a pad on it. Spurgeon got it to the line. Emelin holds. And we get a whistle as the puck hits something in the Minnesota bench.
Well, I don't know if Gallagher has trouble hearing or what, but didn't hear the first whistle. And he kept going even after the second one. But he is an agitator, and he is a feisty guy who plays bigger than he is. And that's just the kind of thing to get under the skin of any team. He pushes, and drives to the net, has a couple words for Kemper.
We've seen Kemper a couple of times show no restraint when it comes to defending his own crease.
Yeah, and so he should be. He has faced more in this period than he has in each of the previous two periods. But that's a good way to get yourself or keep yourself in the game.
Canadians had 6 shots in the first, 4 in the second. Penalty coming here against Montreal as Fallon was taken down in the corner. Minnesota will go on the power play when we return, leading 2-0. Our Toyota get caught up. 19 seconds into the game, Jason Zucker beats Carey Price for a 1-0 Minnesota lead. And then on a shot by Christian Fallon, Jason Pominville deflects it in while ducking out of the way out front. Pominville's 5th of the year, Wild lead 2-0. And now we'll head on to a major power play as Fallon is taken into the boards by Tangradi. It's 5 minutes for boarding and a game misconduct.
Yeah, he just hit him up high, and Fallon was cut on the play. And so when he was heading back to the bench, he was bleeding on the inside of that visor. So he went to the locker room for repairs, and Wild with a great opportunity here to close this one out. It's interesting, Montreal clearly trying to create something. You had the pressure in the zone with Pacioretty crashing the net at the end. You had Gallagher not paying attention to the whistle. on that last play, and then, of course, this physical play. So clearly, the Montreal Canadiens are trying to just create some kind of magic here to get back in this hockey game. It backfired on them.
The 5th power play chance for Minnesota. They haven't scored on the first 4. Pominville overskates a loose puck. Plekanec is in for Montreal. Forced up against the boards by Brodin. And now Pominville collects the puck for Minnesota. Pominville, Vanek, Koivu, Parise up front for the Wild. Pominville drives it in. Vanek lifts a stick along the wall. That allows Koivu to gain the puck. Brodin to Koivu, down low. Parise. Parise looking, goes to Koivu in the corner. Vanek setting up out front. Koivu goes to Pominville. Was off target. That didn't allow Pominville to get the quick shot away. He fires cross ice, and it's intercepted by Markov. Plekanec into the Minnesota zone. And the loose puck picked up by Pominville. Wild will change as Brodin starts ahead. Boyle, Granlund, Niederreiter up front for the Wild. Spurgeon and Scandella man the points. Gilbert flips it high in the air. Sakat runs underneath it for Montreal. At the Minnesota line, he's pressured by Scandella. Sakat lost his glove, got the puck out to the point for Gilbert. Eller along the boards, has it taken away by Granlund, and the Wild will regroup. Scandella with it. Not much happening in the first 2 minutes of this 5-minute Wild power play. Granlund into the Montreal zone. Niederreiter could not hold the zone. It's right back out to center. And Spurgeon is there for Minnesota.
Some boo birds here right now. The Wild are up 2-0 in a game they've pretty much dominated from the start, but fans want to see a power play goal. Some of them are letting the Wild know about it.
Spurgeon back into the corner. Gilbert there for Montreal. And it comes out to center. Mike Yost talked about this a number of times this year, where he said sometimes we don't score on the first or second power play of the night, and all of a sudden it deteriorates and the guys start to press. You can almost feel that happening here tonight. Koivu. And his pass for Parise deflected. And in the first 2 minutes and 50 seconds of the power play, the Wild have not gained the offensive zone. Koivu hits the Montreal line. Tried to get it to the corner. He's tied up. Lost the puck. Subban sends it back down the ice.
Even on a power play, you need support for zone entry. If you don't have speed and support, things like this happen. Offsides or not getting in with speed and the opposition's able to step up on you, knock pucks off your stick. You got to move the puck up ice with speed, but with support. Otherwise, you're a man on an island trying to get into the zone. And see that a little bit disjointed here, trying to gain zone entry. Right here, as you see, not communicating, and possibly two guys get thrown offside because of it.
Scandella plays it in for Minnesota. Gilbert in behind. Gets it by Niederreiter. Zucker to the point for Spurgeon. Spurgeon back to Zucker. Zucker lost the handle. Got it to Spurgeon. Now Scandella lines and fires it. Hit a skate. First attempted shot of the power play. Granlund to the point. Spurgeon whiffed on a cross-ice pass. Manages to hold the zone. Gilbert's the first man there, however. Gilbert couldn't get it by Granlund along the boards. Granlund finds Scandella. Scandella broke his stick as he played it out front. A centering pass by Granlund is broken up by Emelund.
That's one thing Scandella said to me way back before the Wild played Tampa Bay on the road. He said, I don't break as many sticks because I hold my hand up a little bit higher and I don't lean on it as much and I get a better flex on my shot. But this was a desperation thing. You could tell he was trying to hurry up that shot and he really leaned on it, got that hand down low, and it snapped in his hands as the Wild just couldn't make something materialize there.
Canadians win the draw. The puck sails into the Minnesota bench. It'll be an offensive zone draw for the Wild. 54 seconds left. And what has so far been a fruitless 5-minute power play for Minnesota.
Wild put an initial unit back out on the ice.
Brodin plays along the boards to Koivu. Another lost battle in the corner. Koivu taps ahead to Pominville. Banks it in. Too far for Vanek. Vanek able to track it down in the corner, but the Canadians clear again. And the Wild are down to 22 seconds in the power play. Brodin starts ahead for the Wild. To Haula. And then Parise. Back to Haula in the corner. Parise knocked off the puck by Emelin. And the Canadians have killed off a 5-minute Wild power play without the Wild generating a shot on goal. Emelin to Plekanec. Plekanec spins away from Carter and dumps it in. Brodin back to pick it up for Minnesota. Haula fires all the way across for Spurgeon. Races into the Canadian zone. His long shot goes just wide. Fontaine holds his own. Gonchar has it for Montreal. Plays it up the boards. Parenteau tips it out to neutral ice. Scandella fires it across out of the reach of Carter. And Eller back in his own zone for Gonchar. Scandella will pick it up for Minnesota. To the line, but Gonchar holds for Montreal. Eller tied up by Brodziak. Hands it off. Sakic gives it to Eller. Eller's pass was deflected. Spurgeon could not clear. Eller's back in for Montreal. Eller drops it to Subban. Lets it go by for Gonchar. Gonchar carries in. Circles the net. Centers it. Loose puck. Kemper smothers. Sensing trouble in the Minnesota zone. And the Wild maintain their 2-0 lead. 2-0 in favor of Minnesota heading down the stretch here in the third period. Canadians playing with heavy hearts today. The passing of John Beliveau, their longtime captain. 10 times a Stanley Cup champion with the Canadians.
Yeah, and added 7 other ones as part of the organization. So he is truly an ambassador of the game. A lot of the players this morning in the Montreal room were calling him the father of hockey, and it was like having a family member pass. Truly will be missed, and was a graceful man and class on and off the ice. As everyone has said, that knew him.
Plekanec in the corner for Montreal. Fallon has lost his helmet. Plays the puck to Charlie Coyle. Coyle back in behind for Brodin. Brodin's clearing attempt. Held at the point by Markov. Fallon and Brodin tangle there. Koivu delivers a hit. Subban holds for Montreal. Canadians have had all the pressure here in the third period. A long pass sends Zucker in. Markov hustling back. Zucker saved by Price.
Great move by Zucker. That's the kind of move that can slide the puck under a goaltender that's moving side to side, but Price was very solid to close that up.
Ballard fires that hit a skate out front, and Gallagher starts it back to Galchenyuk.
That hit Subban very hard, and he might have even been turned around backwards.
Ballard for Minnesota. To Brodziak. Brodziak races into the Montreal zone. Niederreiter a shot that hit Brodziak. It's almost a shootout type move for Zucker, and it looked like he got the puck between Price's legs. May have caught a leg on the backside that deflected it wide.
Well, he squeezed it really quick. The only other difference is that, of course, he had pressure on him defensively.
Vanek centers. Brodziak rolls one in on goal. Price easily covers.
Well, Mikko Koivu just locks one into the lane and ahead of Zucker, and away he goes. And of course, he's being closed on very quickly by Markov, so he has to make a very quick move, and he makes a good strong one here. Oh yeah, just caught the inside calf, if you will, and it kicked the puck back out. But you can tell that Price was being very cautious with trying to close that gap up. It would have been Zucker's second of the game, and good opportunity by using his speed.
Pominville deflects. Granlund carries in a shot. It's high and wide. Rebound held by Brodin. Granlund tips it to the corner. Subban picks it up there for Montreal. Ahead, it bounces behind Sakic. Parise has it for Minnesota. Parise tried to sneak one through for Granlund. Now back to the point to Fallon. Fallon to Parise. Parise looking for a lane. Granlund was loose out front. Fallon plays down low. Pominville tracks it down along the boards. Back to the corner for Granlund. Bumped by Emelin. Parise supports. Parise reverses field. Pominville around behind and then cleared to center ice. Scandella back to pick it up for Minnesota. Scandella races past Sakic. Protects the puck and plays across to Brodin. Jonas Brodin to Eric Haula. Taps it back for Scandella. Blasts it off the end boards. Carter tips to center. Fontaine has it. Haula racing to join the rush. Haula knocks it down. Haula's in. Saved by Price. Great speed by Haula on the play to create a scoring chance. Scandella to Spurgeon back in the Minnesota zone. Fontaine tips it out to neutral ice. Carter pressures there. Gonchar plays it out to neutral. Galchenyuk at the Minnesota line. Stood up neatly by Spurgeon. And Kemper will cover. We get a whistle. Eric Haula with a good chance for Minnesota. We'll have a preview of what's coming up next on Wild Live in a moment.
I'm Jamie Hurst with a reminder that Wild Live presented by CenturyLink is coming up right after the game. We'll talk about Jason Pominville coming through against his hometown team. Also the defense strong without their Iron Man Ryan Suter tonight. We'll talk about that and hear from head coach Mike Yeo after the game, guys.
Yeah, they've only allowed 16 shots. Obviously, that's team-related. Here's the guys filling the void. Their numbers aren't terrible in terms of having to really blow up their time on ice. Good to see it spread around nicely.
Pacioretty in the corner for Montreal. Plays it ahead. Spurgeon knocks down a bouncing puck. Plays it back into the Montreal zone. Emelin to Desharnais. And back to Emelin in his own zone. Spurgeon back to Scandella. Inside 4 minutes left. Wild with a goal in the first period from Jason Zucker. A second period goal by Jason Pominville. And they lead 2-0. Long shot by Zucker. Kick to the corner by Price.
And that's his 5th shot of the game, which leads all Wild players. Zucker, that is.
Sakic around for Eller. Out to the point, Markov. Pominville tried to play one around. It's intercepted behind the net by Eller. He's tied up by Brodin. Eller bounces it out to Subban. His long shot was deflected. Intercepted by Granlund. Pominville's ahead of the play. Granlund tried to go cross ice to Parise, and it was intercepted by Perito. Markov for Montreal. Eller dumps it into the Minnesota zone. Brodziak goes back to pick it up. Centering pass, hops right through the crease. Plekanec on the far side. And it's now scooped up by Niederreiter at center ice. Niederreiter offside at the Montreal line.
Mike Gill was asked about Niederreiter, and every time Niederreiter gets another goal, everyone says, well, what do you keep telling Niederreiter? And Mike Gill spins 3 times, knocks on wood, and says, I just keep telling him to do the same thing, because he has been doing a lot of the right things out on the ice, and it's led to opportunities offensively, and he's cashed in on those. It's good to see him having a good start to his season, and as we've mentioned, a very, very good month of November.
Face-off coming in the Montreal zone. Less than 2.5 minutes remaining. 4 games on the homestand, all against teams that were leading their respective divisions. Started out with a shootout loss against the Blues. Canadians here. Next up, the Pacific Division leading Ducks. Great opportunity for the Wild to measure themselves against the best.
So many teams within striking distance, too. I mean, close proximity of so many Western Conference teams to the possibility of being in the playoff hunt or not. I mean, there's just a lot of opportunity by a lot of squads here. It's going to be tough to say who's going to finish on which side of that line.
Charlie Coyle plays it across. Prosser fires wide. Koivu deflected it. Coyle holds his own. Ballard to pick it up there for Minnesota and plays it in. Gilbert in behind the Montreal goal. His pass picked up by Gallagher at center. Galchenyuk into the Minnesota zone. Plekanec forced outside by Fallon. Granlund crashes into the net, knocking it loose. And we'll get a face-off in the Minnesota zone. The Montreal net empty with 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, that was a good back check by Granlund, and he helped break this play up. Watch the left side of your screen. He checks over his shoulder. He sees someone, and he actually gets in front of him. Gallagher, that was, gave him a bit of a shove. And he went into the net, knocking it off. There's Price. Pretty solid game. I mean, the Minnesota Wild put 35 shots towards them. They scored twice. A couple of very good chances even in this period.
Kemper holds again, and we'll get a face-off in the Minnesota zone. Granlund will take the draw against Desharnais. Eller for Montreal flips it wide to the target. Carter over to pick it up for Minnesota. To the line, held briefly by Subban. Back to the point for Markov. Down low, Pacioretty whipped it all the way across. Nobody there. Carter plays it out to neutral ice. Pacioretty fires it in. Carter, Granlund, Parise, the 3 forwards for Minnesota. Empty net for Montreal, and an extra attacker. Pacioretty knocks it down. Desharnais a shot. And a save by Kemper.
Oh, point blank. Wild just can't get it out. It's tough to rim the puck out of the zone, and Kemper tried to fire it all the way around. It was trapped along the wall, and then this is what happened. Another failed clearing attempt, and a really good save there by Kemper. Doesn't look like much, but on a bouncing puck that just wasn't cleared, he was able to just lock down the angle and close down the ice and not give up a rebound, which is also very important.
Dev star of the game, the man who got it started tonight, Jason Zucker, scored 19 seconds into the game, his 10th goal of the season.
I loved him trying those different type shots, and he led the Wild with 5 shots on goal in this game, including this breakaway that almost went here in the third period. But good to see Zucker starting to feel it. He saw some power play time, so he might, as we move along, see more of that. We'll see how that develops. Obviously an area that the Wild are continually concerned with, but in this game they're able to survive without it.
Koivu wins the draw. Spurgeon lugs it around to the far side, flips it all the way down. It'll be icing against Minnesota.
Good performance by the Wild defense without Ryan Suter in the lineup. Obviously Ryan Suter brings so much calm back of the blue line. Put him out there in so many different situations. He's just a quarterback back there, but the Wild performed very well defensively. Did not give up a lot of glaring opportunities and moved the puck pretty well out of the zone as well.
Gallagher battling with Koivu in the corner. Desharnais to Gallagher, out to the point. Markov across. Subban with a long shot. And Galchenyuk slams it into an empty net. And the Canadians have cut the Wild lead in half. It's 2-1 with just under a minute to go.
Lots of time left in this one. That is by no means the end of this game. They pulled the goaltender with 2 minutes left. It took till just under 1 to make this work. And they've been trying this play again. Just kind of a soft shot from the point. And at this time, look at Subban. That is not a slapper. He took a lot off of that. He was looking for exactly what he got there. A deflection or rebound. In this case, he caught a deflection off the skate of Spurgeon, and it materialized into a goal.
Empty net again for Montreal. Pacioretty to the point for Subban. Whips it across to Markov. His shot blocked by Coyle. Gallagher, 40 seconds left. Extra skater for Montreal. Subban plays down low. Galchenyuk got it to Pacioretty. Pacioretty has it taken away by Brodin, who flips it softly all the way down. Icing waved off. Markov has to play it.
Yeah, he was floating down the ice. He wanted to create an icing out of one that wasn't there.
Brodin this time drives it to the point. Subban holds for a moment, and then Niederreiter able to play it out to neutral ice. Markov back to pick it up. Gallagher brings it in. Taken away by Granlund, who flips it down. Knocked out of the air by Subban. From his stomach, he plays it ahead. And the Wild hang on and defeat the Canadiens. 2-1 the final here tonight.
It's fitting they get the 2 points because the Wild definitely outplayed Montreal all night. The Canadiens, you got to give them credit. They did pressure late. They had a few sequences where they tried to get the puck in, whether they had extra physical play or whatever they did. Tried to turn the game around. It just was to no avail. Wild played too solidly. It took a pulled goaltender to really give them an opportunity to get close. Wild close it out nicely with a nice home win.